So welcome everybody to our next Girls in Tech South Africa Ambassador Series interview. This month we have got the amazing Talisha with us. I'm so excited to chat with you, Talisha. I know Joe is as well. I'm going to leave it up to you to do an introduction, but just from my side, welcome. And just can't wait to hear about your world of sustainability and how it ties together with tech.
Thanks, Monique, for the very warm welcome, and as well to you, Joe. I'm very excited to be here, especially talking to this audience, girls in tech. I mean, that's me. So, who better to relate with and share my passion on the subject of technology and what we can do in the art of the possible? That's basically me in a nutshell. I love innovation, pushing boundaries. Um, Not really accepting the word no isn't one of my strengths. So I've played a lot of different positions in the technology field. So I've been working now, next year will be 10 years in technology. So a nice amount of roles and variation of industry under my belt. Just before I currently live in Belgium. So I've left Cape Town just over 2 years ago, where I was working in a blockchain startup. And I was approached by 𝐓𝐚𝐥𝐢𝐬𝐡𝐚 Belgium to see, like, would you like to move to this country and become a consultant and share your talents with the rest of the world? So it's great to know that South Africans are very welcome in the international context. And I've definitely been able to take the skills that I gained in South Africa and apply them in this context. So very excited to also say that we're quite ahead when it comes to adopting and implementing innovation from what I've seen in the European context. So yeah, that's me and what I
Before
do.
we've even got into interviewing you, I'm excited about what you're doing. I'm also going to just take a moment just to welcome you, Joe. You recently joined our board at Girls in Tech South Africa, and it's great to have you join us in this interview with Talisha. Yeah, over to you. I'd love you to just kind of open the floor for us, if you will, with this session with Talisha.
Thanks so much, Monique. It's absolutely wonderful to be here. Talisha, it's really great to meet you. It's been so interesting to hear what you've done, your background. And Monique touched on a point that really, really interested me, and it's something I find quite inspiring. She mentioned technology and sustainability. That for me is so interesting because as humans, right, we have an impact in everything we do, whether it is personal or business. There's an impact we do. Our local communities have an impact, and it just grows and it multiplies, with the impact that we have. And I believe that we need to look after the planet for future generations. It would be so interesting to hear your take and also what you've been doing on bringing technology and sustainability together.
Awesome. Yeah, I'd love to share. So, if we look at the world in 2022, we see, right, that every business today is a digital business. Even your mom and pop shop have some type of e-commerce website that they're delivering. We go to a market and we use a snap scan or, whatever technology is available to support a use case that will service a business. It's all through technology. And if we want to look into the future, right, we believe that every business will be a sustainable business. I mean, we have to. If we want to, meet the climate 1.5 degrees, right, before bye bye Mauritius, like, this is a real problem that we all need to collectively work on. So businesses today who are going on a digital transformation journey, right? So using those digital products and services to expand their customer footprint, they also need to think about what impact does that footprint have and what impact does my business have in being responsible, right, towards becoming a sustainable organization. So this is where the technology and sustainability really intersects to support businesses not only in their digital transformation, but also their sustainable transformation. And so my role today at Accenture is what we call the twin transformation. I lead topics in the twin transformation, and it always starts with how might we, right? It's an experiment, it's a question to challenge yourself about being a better sustainable actor and prioritizing what that means for you.
Really like that. How might we? It's a great opener.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
I mean, it makes me think a little bit about, you mentioned earlier, sort of every business is a digital business now. I almost think that translates, I don't know if you both agree, into every job is a digital job now. And I know I have this conversation with my kids all the time. They're 16 and 14 now. Neither of them are interested in following in my footsteps because, mum is boring. So they're not interested in tech. But I keep saying to them, keep your mind open to the skills that you build in technology, because I feel like regardless of the job, it's that skill set that you need to just get stuff done, to deliver, to explore, to think, what might we? So
Yeah,
I'm
and
interested to know just how you feel, especially knowing our mandate is to get younger women interested in pursuing a career in this space. Like, what might we say to them in terms of how to go down this road, or what to think of studying? I mean, your role is so unique.
I think you nailed it with your message to your sons, right? You have to keep an open mind about what is out there. I think that every business will require you to be able to engage with the technology team. Today, as a business owner, you still have a dependency for some developer to make your vision happen. You're not going to escape that, even if you studied, pure finance. That's okay and that's welcome, but you will have to collaborate with a techie and you will have to speak some type of language. And it's actually all about collaboration. I think a lot of people have a misconception about technical teams or people being introverted, coffee drinkers who code until 3 a.m. by themselves in the hoodie without shoes. But you can also wear really nice clothes and high heels and get dressed up and pick up a whiteboard, a marker, and go on a whiteboard and draw a picture of what you want to happen, and you are part of a technical team. So don't limit yourselves because of the perception that you have about working in technology. Come into a team and see, oh wow, I love this app. How did they make this app? Just think about the digital experiences that you are engaging with today. You love TikTok videos. Can you imagine the mechanics that go behind that? What is the next version of TikTok going to be? So this is really where you are a creator when you work in technology, and you're basically creating the future. So, and that's unwritten. So why limit yourself with these perceptions of what technology is, when you can actually shape what technology can be, would be my message.
I love that. It leads me into something I was thinking of when you were talking about the how might we. It's such an interesting question if you think about it, because there are many parts to it. If I can just look at maybe two, how might we is, for example, how might we, with you as an individual, what are your thoughts? What are skill sets? What can you bring through in what you're doing? And then there's also how might we, what can the impact be? How do we think out of the box? I'd love to hear more thoughts from that on that kind of thinking, Talisha.
Yeah, I think it depends on your role in technology. Really, how might you really contribute? So if you're a software developer, we talk about things, sustainability in technology. So that's really when you build an application, thinking about making it sustainable by design. Like, what are the requirements? Are they even necessary? Is this person creating value? Because often what you realize is that there's a huge percentage of features that are underutilized in software development. Like, this is unnecessary, heavy loads going into applications which have a carbon footprint, where we can actually design that to be sustainable in the technology by design. You can also, as a software developer, follow some eco design principles. So making sure that you use a cloud architecture that runs off renewable data centers when it's relevant, or a reuse of patterns and services. So microservices is a great way of us to be able to leverage existing technologies. I think that's one of the great things about technology. It's not just about one organization and the service that they've delivered. It's about many organizations and the services that you can leverage. You don't need to build something. You can share something that someone else has built and offer that to your customer. So, yeah.
Don't need to reinvent the wheel.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I
And it
think
doesn't stifle innovation, right? It makes you prioritize what is real innovation.
I get
And
asked often what to study. I don't know if you often ask this question, but I think it's, I remember the many times that I've pivoted into different industries, that would be the last thing on my mind, because very often I'd be looking at what problem I can solve. And then the role I ended up fulfilling was just because that's what was needed to solve the problem. But I think it is a very real question for, say, someone who might be listening to this interview who's either about to leave school or maybe early stage university, and they're trying to think of what to specialize in. Just in terms of the niche you found yourself in, which I think is a really strong emerging market, sustainability with technology, are there some tips you might have around courses or a particular field of study, or is it really so open that it could be anything from business to marketing to software development?
it depends. It's a beautiful consultant answer that we have for everything. Now you can see my true colors behind me. But it really does depend where you want to specialize in. So for my own personal journey, I actually studied environmental and geographical science at UCT, uh, which I think already positioned me as a systems thinker, right? Environmental systems and geographical systems are all interconnected. And when I couldn't get a job with my beautiful art degree, just before the global recession of 2009, it was quite hard. It was really, you invest 3 years of like money that's not yours at that age, right? To into this career, and you leave with a piece of paper that's meant to help you get a job. And if the economy isn't in a position to support you with that, like, how do you support yourself? And I was lucky enough to get an opportunity to study again through a scholarship provided by the Cape IT City Initiative. So looking at giving people who had degrees like me, who showed some type of competence to study, upskill ourselves in technology. So I did a postgraduate diploma again through UCT in management information systems. And there I did the foundations of technology, which is really as a business analyst and a systems analyst. And that's a really great place to start your career. It's understanding, really, like an investigative journalist, what are the needs? Who needs what? Why do they need this? How does this fit together, right? And be able to tell a story with that. And if you can be a good storyteller in technology, your ability to move around in technology is really easy, because it's about passing complex messages in a simple way. So I feel like that's been really the key strength of mine. I was really intimidated of technology. I don't code, but I work with developers. So I have to be able to hear their story. What are their challenges? Really unpack if there's a technical reason why something can't be done, or other, business considerations that weren't mentioned. So it's about drawing all those pieces together. And I'm lucky today that I get to combine my environmental science knowledge, right? So understanding some real, environmental, social, and governance. So those are the key things where we see a data, right? So if we talk from a technology perspective, what is an important component for businesses to transform? It's the E, S, and G data. So, you could get a role as a data scientist and study data scientist and really work in sustainability topics. You could be working as a developer, building technologies that support sustainable transformation. You could be an analyst and just, capture the business vision that informs what the product is meant to do. So I think like be open-minded and exploring the roles. Like I went from analyst to product owner, which was a natural growth, to realizing that my products were never shipping. And I was like, what is going on here? Why do I have all these awesome ideas that don't go out into software? I was like, oh, it's my process. I need a quick, development process. I need an agile, iterative. And that's when I learned, the value of Scrum and how to bring that to my way of working. And, from working on these, product level teams, after a few years, I was able to work on program level teams and actually agile transformations across an entire business and their objectives rather than one product. So, and now I'm going one step further, which is taking an agile transformation, right? So, how to build products quickly, flexibly, and efficiently, to how can we build them sustainably. So I think in technology, we see an evolution. And I think most people in tech who have careers have also evolved personally in that evolution as they find their sweet spot. So my advice to you is start with what you are passionate about and test out those waters and see where you can fit in this environment.
I think that is a perfect way for us to kind of end off this little touch base with you. And thank you for sharing your time with us. I'm really, really hopeful that whoever's listening to this interview, and I'm sure there will be, is inspired just to kind of start thinking about, A, what are you passionate about? B, what problems could you potentially solve? And just, this fact that you are showing us that the world of sustainability and the social sciences is starting to merge with technology. It's I think the type of jobs that are out there in the next 5 to 10 years are possibly not even known. So great to know that if someone's looking at studying social sciences, particularly around sustainability, which is so relevant, that it could lead to a career in tech. Who knew? And Jo, thank you for joining us. I mean, between the two of you, just wonderful to meet two such inspiring women in tech. I know, Jo, you're with the AWS at the moment. So I'm delighted to also hear your stories further down the line around what you're seeing in that space.
It'd be awesome to share. Thank you again for having me. It's been absolutely wonderful. Talisha, it's been amazing to hear your story, your journey, and to also learn more about sustainability and tech coming together at this time. It's actually an incredible space to be in, and I'm so grateful to have heard your story. I look forward to actually looking at how I can incorporate some of that into my daily work.
Oh, thank you. That makes me so happy. That's the reason why I do. It really is just starting with awareness and seeing how can I, find my place in this, making this world a better place. And the way I see it is technology. It's inevitable. So really appreciate having, the opportunity to share the message and inspire other people to come change the world in technology with me.
Good. Well, keep flying the South African flag high over there in Belgium.
I will do.
All right. Thank you, ladies. Stay well.
Thank you. Stay well. Bye.
Bye.